The agreement was that if he shoots someone, you shoot him.
Modern Family started out like this.
You can shoot him afterwards, he'll be home at 2.
I can't shoot him at 2. I'm showing a house at 2.
What about 3?
This is how the show ended up.
So that's pretty much 25 years of uninterrupted crazy. Then when it ends, it ends.
Normally, family sitcoms rely on somewhat predictable tropes and sort of rehashed plot setups to tell their stories. Modern Family relied on powerful performances and nuanced drama to drive its comedy. Turns out, this was exactly what audiences were looking for. And since 2009, the show has garnered over 50 Primetime Emmy nominations and has remained one of the more popular comedy shows on network television. Despite Modern Family's popularity, in its later seasons, the show started to slowly feel as if something was missing, almost like there were pieces of a puzzle that didn't quite fit anymore. Sometimes television shows have a way of feeling like they are hanging around a little too long. So, today, we're going to be taking a look at Modern Family and how the passage of time can sometimes make a show feel like it's overstayed its welcome. One of the things that made Modern Family resonate with audiences was the feeling that we were able to grow up alongside most of the characters. The show took a magnifying glass to the intricacies of raising families in a modern era and allowed the unpredictability of youth to serve as a catalyst for change and growth in the parental figures throughout the show. We were watching children grow into adults, and adults adapting to those changes. This show wasn't just a slice of life, it was just life. However, as Haley, Alex, Luke, Manny, and Lily grew up, they grew further apart from the nebulous relationships within their family structures and started to develop as adults. They were certainly holding the structure of Modern Family in place.
Gotta fix that.
As the children started blossoming into adulthood, they became more self-reliant and, in turn, relied on their families less and less. The structure was beginning to collapse. Familiarity and predictability are part of any successful sitcom's model. Sure, the inner workings of each individual episode can be vastly different, but very little changes in the way our main characters react to any given situation occurring around them. This layer of predictability provides a sense of comfort to viewers, and a desire to return to that comfortable place time and time again. In an episode of Modern Family, we know that Mitchell Pritchett is going to come off as being a little high-strung in contrast to his more laid-back partner, Cam. We know that Gloria Pritchett might have some extremely strong reactions to things.
That means nothing in your mouth!
I got Gloria.
We know that Phil Dunphy is going to try way too hard to score points with his kids.
I'm the cool dad. That's my thing.
These are those promises that the writers and showrunners make to us. This is what has made a show like The Simpsons, which is now entering its 33rd season, such a mainstay within the cultural zeitgeist. We know Bart is going to be mischievous, we know that Lisa is going to have strong ideals, we know that Homer is going to commit some active buffoonery. We also know that these characters won't age.
To prolong the run of the series, I was secretly given anti-growth hormones.
Time is the great equalizer when it comes to most shows. Unlike the aforementioned Simpsons, who can remain whatever age the animators choose to leave them at, it might seem surprising, but humans have a tendency to age. In the case of adolescent youth, that aging process can happen quite rapidly. After the 4th season of Modern Family, the kids all started their journeys into adulthood. In a way, this essentially flipped over the hourglass on Modern Family's success model. The show did a great job adapting to these changes, and some of these middle season episodes are of the best of the entire show's run. However, by the 6th season, as the children became more and more independent, the more interesting parts of their existence began taking place outside of their families and within their rapidly developing personal lives.
We raised them to be independent, and now they're out in the world having their own lives. We did it.
The focus of the show started to pivot from the day-to-day struggles of raising a family toward the struggles of the children who were rapidly entering adulthood, something that culminated in Haley Dunphy starting a family of her own, which sort of created a Russian doll situation with the way all these modern families started stacking up. When a show's focus begins to change like that, the promise that was initially made to the viewers enters a bit of a renegotiation phase. It's very seldom that a sitcom survives this renegotiation with their audience. A good example of this is when Steve Carell left The Office, and instead of replacing him with an existing character, the entire 8th season was spent creating and renegotiating dynamics under Robert California.
I'm the Lizard King.
Or when Happy Days started to rely on ridiculous stunts to get people to watch an episode. Hey, Hey guys, I just wanted to take a quick break from this video to talk about my personal favorite music service, Amazon Music. You see, lately I've been completely obsessed with the podcast Smartless, and with Amazon Music, you can get it 1 week before everyone else, as well as ad-free. And Amazon Music has so much more than just podcasts, including thousands of playlists to stream for free. So I can listen to all the Hey Arnold lo-fi jazz hip-hop beats I want, whenever and wherever I want. And now for a limited time, new customers can try Amazon Music Unlimited free for 3 months. No credit card required. Go to amazon.com/nerdstalgic. Renews automatically, cancel anytime, terms apply. Check it out. So how does a writer facilitate the inherent need to pivot the focus of a show, while still remaining true to the core of the show that audiences fell in love with in the first place? It's a tricky spot to be in as a writer. When that hourglass flips on a successful show, studios sometimes try to squeeze a few more seasons out of it in effort to make as much money as possible with an established franchise. This is show business after all, and when viewership of a show begins to trend downward, the decision is often made to do what is best for the bottom line, and sometimes that decision comes at the expense of doing what is best for the show creatively. We see this in the form of misplaced cameos, unnecessary character deaths, and the jumping of sharks. Highly manufactured moments to bring some eyes back to the show so that those advertising dollars don't stop flowing in the short term. In the case of Modern Family, the show just got to a point where it needed to become something completely different than what it started out as in order to maintain its staying power. But by pivoting away from its established storylines and character behaviors, the show effectively lost that staying power. This is usually right around the point in time where shows begin development of spin-off series, which also exist on seemingly borrowed time. However, new promises need to be made, and it's much easier to propagate a series from a proven successful model rather than build a new one from the ground up. Now, Modern Family did wrap up their production in April of 2020, but they left the door wide open for a spin-off which currently doesn't exist in any form more substantial than a rumor at this point, so we'll see what happens there. Modern Family was a groundbreaking sitcom in many ways. It forged a new path into the sitcom space by taking the proven success model of a family sitcom and filtered it through the proven success model of a mockumentary, to the delight of audiences and critics alike. Unfortunately, that new path ended in the same sort of dwindling way that shows like 2.5 Men did when they were forced to alter the focus of their respective shows. Audiences can be fickle, and when a show stops giving them what they became attached to in the first place, they just simply stop watching and move on to something entirely different. When a show is forced to pivot abruptly, they start losing their audience. Once that happens, production of these network shows become less about the characters and more about squeezing the last few dollars out of advertisers. It's usually the death knell for any beloved television show. Well, that's it for today's episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. You might see a couple floating images of some related videos in the player window here. Feel free to click those if you want to hang out a little longer. And thanks for watching Nerdstalgic.